Hello,
Okay,
Jean.
right. Yes, hi. We are actually live right now, and just give me a second. Just keep a police here. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope all is well and stay safe during this season. We will start the session with my guest in a few seconds, and if you happen to just join us, do remember to actually like, tag, and share our live with all our friends out there, so that many will come and enjoy this sharing session. We are now into mid-March 2021. How time flies! Welcome to the 15th edition of my live session. My name is Shing, and I will be your host for today. Before I begin, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who are watching right now, and as well as those, not forgetting those who will be watching live replay later on. For those who are watching for the first time, this live is all about us, our story. Everyone has a unique story to tell. We may not realize it, but our story may inspire someone, especially for someone that's out there in this extraordinary time. We hope that through this sharing session, everyone will be able to connect, share, and learn from each other's experience. So, do you have one? What is your story? We would like to hear from you, and do reach out to us on my FB if you would like to hear, share, and your experiences with us. Today's session is the continuation of my interview with this special guest of mine, an ex-employee turned entrepreneur extraordinaire from Melbourne, Australia. In the first part of my interview with her last week, she shared with us her journey of how she rose from being a high achiever to employee to an entrepreneur extraordinaire, owning multiple businesses. She also shared why she continues to do what she's doing despite her successes. Her passion, dedication, and commitment to everything that she does really shows very much in her. We were all inspired by her stories, and I'm sure that later on we will be also the same. If you happen to miss out last week's session, do watch the replay on my Facebook Live. In the second part today, we will go on to actually share. She will go on to actually share her experiences, the importance of networking, and how networking has helped her to where she is today, and why all of us should continue to be networking all the time. She will also share how she manages to pivot during one of the most extraordinary years during the pandemic last year, and the lesson learned. She will also share how she sees the future of the business and many more. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together to welcome Miss Sineth Sareth Sar. Hi, Sineth. First of all,
Hi,
I would like to
you.
thank you again for joining us today for this second part of this interview. I'm very excited to have you again to share your inspiring story with all of us.
It's very, you working very hard Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock, still working and
this,
for the community.
this,
I say, well done to
yeah,
you. Very
yeah,
good.
yeah. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, for joining us today to share the second part of this story. And okay, the year 2020 went down as one of the most extraordinary year. It has changed the
Mm.
way we do things in what we now call the new normal. So, can you share with us your experiences about what happened to your business during the lockdown last year?
So, I'm in the retail. So, you can imagine the retail is the first business who has been very important impact by the lockdown. First, because when you have a shop, you cannot work from home compared to the other business. You can sell your house on your phone, on internet, put on Facebook, but the retail they have to close the shop. So, and I didn't have choice. So the lockdown has been very tough because my shopping center has been closed. My business for the lottery has been closed. So I have to think what is going to be for my other business. So when I went to Europe, I went to France in February 20. I went to do a speech for international leader for 200 people in Paris. And I came back in March and it was the beginning of the lockdown. So when I went to France, I have the idea because the virus was circulate already in China on the time. And so I have the idea to do a mask. So I developed when I come back, I developed my mask online. And I always want to push the made in Australia because I know that, if you buy something in overseas, it take a long time to manufacture, a long time to transport. So when I came back in March, I started my online business selling masks, and it was amazing because what happened. Daniel Andrew put the mask mandatory, so it was absolutely a, 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 a boom for me. And during my stay in Paris, I developed my networking at the international. French has been colonized Africa, so there's 35 countries who speaking French. So I met a lot of African developer, and I developed my business for trade finance and importing exporting. I know that we're going to have a lockdown like in China, so I was thinking what business, because I know that my retail will be closed, what business I can do without any continue to work from home and develop my business in international. And Australia is a very small country. We have only 23, 25 million. So I want to have a bigger market. So I developed my business international trade in Africa. So 1.7 billion population. So that has been you know the thing of the COVID thing, it's learn a lot of our lesson. You need to find your why, you need to reinvent yourself, and you need to find other way to make money. I think the traditional way, and it is very sad. After the job keeper, people working in the food, working in the cafe, the restaurant, and mainly I have my office in Collins in the city. They're going to struggle a lot. I think 50 to 80% of the business in the city will not be have be able to continue their normal business. After the job keeper finishing end of this month, I don't know how they're going to be survived. And when you hear that 90% of 80% of traffic is gone, no tourists, nothing, so you really need to reinvent yourself and find other way to do business.
Well, you were saying that you actually started to think about all this during when it was first started, somewhere in February and March, when you came back.
Yeah.
Then
You,
you started. You
you know,
started
Ching,
already. You started already. Planning all this what to do if this thing happened, and you started to plan your backup plan since February, March.
yes. I travel a lot. So before the COVID, I travel a lot on Asia. I'm European background. My brother is in US, so I travel a lot. So when you travel a lot, Ching, you open your mind. You see a lot of things. And like I say in the news, I read a lot of news. But when you travel, you can see the problem. You can pick up the idea and you can see what is going to be, the future. And mainly I always my daughter, I give you an example. My daughter, she's only 14. She went to 2 times in Europe, in France, 1 time in US and Hawaii, 1 time in Singapore, and 1 time in Cambodia and China. And what I want to say, and I encourage people to travel, when you travel, you open your mind, you meet people not only on the Australian market, you see, because business now is international. So this is why I anticipate this thing in January. And like I said, everything to be successful is anticipation and preparation. It's not if you do run a business by reaction, you will never be successful. You have to run a business on preparation and anticipation. What is the future? What is the problem will be?
So the reason, I mean, from of course, in order for you to anticipate, you say that you have traveled extensively, and that is where you actually
Yeah,
gain your, I mean,
yeah,
you foresee what is going to happen, right?
yeah. Yes, that's
Okay,
correct. Yeah.
wow. And so the experiences that you learned from this lockdown last year. So you anticipated a few things may have changed, and from there you can see that what is the, maybe you can share with us a little bit. I mean, of course, other than diversifying your businesses, right? Diversifying to business during the lockdown. What are the other businesses that you have actually gone into since then?
For me, like I said to you, networking is very important. I give you an example. If you get a degree of accounting and you're looking for a job, first it's very hard to find a job. But if you don't have this knowledge of the people, the networking to the CEO, it's very hard. I give you an example. I have a few business, and my business is very small. I'm not big like ANZ, like Commonwealth. You cannot imagine how many CV I receive per day from the people. They find me on LinkedIn, or they Google me, or they drop their CV at my shop. So you can imagine that like ANZ or Commonwealth, how many hundred CV they receive per day. They said that 70% of the job in Victoria has been done through networking. So it means that if you don't have the networking, you cannot find a job. This is simple like that. So for me, when I came here, I always develop my networking. So even you go there, you leave your business card, you do a Facebook live. I'm doing now, or you post what you're doing on Facebook. You advertise on your Instagram, advertise in LinkedIn, advertise what you're doing. Is always bring you a lead one time. Maybe not bringing now, but probably bring to you later. And since I'm arrived in Australia, so 16 years ago, but I already did in France, I always networking. But there's a clever way to networking. When you go to a networking event, you don't give your business card to 20 people, because first, you don't have time to follow the 20 people. For me, when I go to a networking event, I just follow with one person. I stay with one person. I know the better this one person. I know the need. I take the business card with exchange, but mainly I do the following up. Okay? The following up of everything is when you do a sale, when you do networking, the following up is the most important thing. You can have the best degree, the best product, but if you don't do the networking and you don't listen what the client is, cannot be successful. So this is why when I go on networking, I don't try to promote to give my business card to 20 people. I just give my card to one person, and I stay with the time of the networking 1 hour, try to understand what they think. And the another thing that we have to do is only that this person, when you provide a good service, they're going to bring other person. So like my 90% of my referral is through networking.
Yeah. Yeah. We will go to a bit of networking later on to talk more
Yeah,
about that. But on
yeah.
okay, yeah, correct. So in your own opinion, right now, looking at the things right now that going, do you think that this year will be much more better than last year?
Honestly, can I be frank with you? I don't think that this year will be better. What we're going to see for the result for the economy in Australia has been quite good. So we are on one of the top country who recover good compared to Europe and to us and to the thing. But if you read the science, there's first what is a little bit scary for business owner to travel interstate. It's we can have an outbreak anytime, like like it's happened in Queensland. Victoria's thinking to do six. So the business people doesn't like the uncertainty. They like that everything is clear, and there's a lot of other virus who circulate. So and the mutant. US and Europe, even is the decrease of the lockdown of the virus, they didn't stop. So there's a lot of uncertainty about the economy. I'm very pessimist. I'm a little bit more pessimist, and I better have a good surprise end of 21. But I'm a little bit pessimist about the fact people say, oh, property is going up again, but I think it's going up because the government give a lot of incentive. But what I'm very pessimist because there's no migrant coming, no overseas. If you don't have migrant coming and then overseas, it's very hard, and no capital from overseas investing. It's very hard to have a growth. What we're seeing the grow and the seeing at the moment in the property is just the effect of the government incentive.
So now that, in your own opinion, that I mean, you see that there's a bit of still uncertainty, right? And will you be prepared for this? What you call it? Any, if there is any, any unexpected and surprises later on, if there's any, since that you have already coped with the previous lockdown. So what do you think that will you be prepared this time, if there's any?
Okay, so I think now we are in summer, I mean, hot time. So, but I probably think that in the winter, when people come back to home, we probably have another lockdown, but it would be like a small lockdown like we have in Victoria, 5 days, maybe they try to do some area like in Queensland and New South Wales. It's not will be all Victoria. I hope that they're going to be smarter to have the lockdown for some area, not all Victoria. I think that we have to pushing the quarantine in the island or in the rural zone, not to do the quarantine in the hotel, because you see, like the doctor in Queensland, he has been infected, or like in the person who cleaning in Melbourne has been infected. So this is what I suggest for the government. If they open the border, they will be. It's very hard because winter coming, people stay at home, they have more community staying at home, and the winter, the virus again. So I think for 21, we're probably going to have few lockdowns, short like we have in Victoria, for 5 or 6 days. So something that we have to expect for 2021. And the thing in the city is getting the government or the mayor have to do a lot of things to invent their business, that people come back to the city, because it's completely dead in the city at the moment.
Yeah. I guess that nobody knows what will happen, right? Nobody knows what will happen. So don't need.
We don't now. We cannot predict, because no one last year will be predict the COVID, but you can know that. You can guess 80% is what is going to happen for the lockdown. You can guess that cash flow will be one of the things. People will need to find the finance, because now as the bank are very hard to borrow money, so you have to find other way to financing your projects. For me, I did for the trade finance, so it's fantastic. But you will have to find other way to reinvent your business. Like the finance will be crucial, it's no doubt. We need to have other way to reinvent our business. And like for the real estate, a lot of real estate selling on Zoom, selling on in their phone. The owner cannot see, cannot travel. So it's this different way to reinvent yourself.
Yep. So yeah, exactly. So I think the most important thing, like what you have mentioned earlier on, we never know what will happen. We don't know. The only thing is preparation. It's for preparation.
You,
You need to prepare.
I tell you, just give you an example. For me, when the weather is beautiful in Australia, in Melbourne, mainly in Melbourne, I always have my umbrella and my coat with me. And people laugh at me. Why you take umbrella? The weather is very beautiful. I said, I always put my umbrella on my bag. You never know what the future will be. So I think it doesn't kill you to have your umbrella in your bag, but just have it. It's like us, it's for me, I have a few property. I'm selling to consolidate my debt. And people say, oh, why do you sell? Because I want to have some cash. You don't know what is the future will be. So I'm like the ants. I'm working like 7 days a week, saving the thing. So it just have anticipation, have some saving, not to spend too much, and keep it in your backup.
So just how you did mention that networking is very important, right? Earlier on, right? So, and I guess the belief that maybe you can just let us know that why networking is important, and do you agree that your network is your network?
Yeah. So first, for me, I design and build house. So not everybody design and build house, and cost a lot of money. What you realize that you have to promote yourself. Your image, yourself is the promotion. And when you do your promotion yourself, you need to always upsell you. Upselling yourself is very important. You can, I never miss an opportunity to upsell myself on Facebook, upsell myself on Instagram or LinkedIn, because people buy what they see. So, for example, I'm decided to build a new house. I saw Sineth post, house to engineer and builder to it. People, yeah, I'm going to give a call to this lady. For example, if you go to a shop, when you display when you pay the cash, when you see, for example, a chocolate, what do you do? Oh, yeah, I will buy a chocolate I put on my bag. So people buy what they see. And so this is why you always have to promote yourself. And now we have the multimedia like, Facebook, Instagram, and now this live. It's very good way to promote yourself. Second thing, I think that you have to networking with the person who take the decision, who have the money. It's not that you networking with everyone. You have to networking with the top niche market of your customer. So like you have to you are the real estate. You have to networking with the developer who has the money. You're not going to networking with the worker, because he doesn't take the decision. So there's a level of networking that you have to do. And there's even your business is busy, I always spend 30% of my time to promote myself through paying on the newspaper, sponsoring the committee, but networking myself. Because when you are your own business, nobody can grow your business like your staff. It's only the business owner can grow the business and can promote. And there's another thing is for example, you have 100 clients now. On the 100 client, 20% will disappear because they went to administration, they went to bankruptcy, the people go to retire. So you need to refresh this customer. You cannot keep one customer and this customer will last for life, because nothing lasts for life. Life is full of change. Change constant is change. Nothing is constant in the life except change. So you always have to have a new customer. And another thing, the people, maybe they have money and after they sold, they don't have no more money. So everything is changing. And so you have to always networking. And 70% of the people who find a job or take the decision is through networking. So, for example, my fee can be more expensive than other, but they gave the job because they know me. And that's it. So this is no point. Maybe they have another engineer who's cheaper, but because they know me, they like me, they will give the job to me. This is sad, and it's like that. Like I have a friend who apply for a job, and so when I looking for a job, I take someone from of my staff who gave me a referral. I say, oh, you can. The first thing for my own business. When I'm looking for staff, I ask my staff, I say, do you know someone who looking for a job? Because I don't want to have 100 CV put on stick and doing like that. I don't have time. So what I'm doing, I ask my staff. So, and they say, oh, because my staff, they are very good. I know that they're going to refer me a good people. And this is the way to go.
So it's basically, it is not what you know, but who do you know that matters.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
Yeah. Yeah. You can have the 10 degree of accounting, but if you don't know the person who hide those things, sometimes you don't get the job. This is very sad. Very sad. 70% of the job that the people get is through networking. It's a sad reality, and I think you will see after the 31 of March, it will be worse than that, because a lot of people will have their job keeper left. A lot of restaurants, they keep their staff now because they have the job keeper, but after the 31 of March, they will not be able to keep it. So we have to be realistic how it's going to.
So for someone who is just starting, and like what you mentioned earlier on, trying to apply for many positions and couldn't get any answers, and so how do you suggest that one can become a successful networker?
Okay, so what I did when I arrived in Australia, I did a lot of volunteer work. Volunteer work, it's a very good way to introduce yourself. So I was volunteer for the Cambodian Association. I did for many years, and after there was a position for a social worker, people who doing some helping young community with drug problem, and I get the job because I was volunteer. So I encourage people to do volunteer. Volunteer is fantastic way to learn first, not only to make money because you don't make money, but is to way to learn. You meet great people. You do a lot of things. So yeah, volunteer is fantastic way to find a job too.
Okay, right. So volunteering is one of the ways that you
Yeah.
actually looking into it, right? Is there any other ways other than that you may want to share?
So
Or
I when I came here, I do all the BNI, all each council have a networking event. They always have a networking event. So I went to all these networking events. I put my kid in private school, so I met a lot. I just come off 3 days of rowing in Geelong. So I went to go to see my daughter, but you stand up all the day with few people and with a few parents who are networking, so I get few new jobs. So I mean, have your business card ready, have your CV ready to email. So networking all the time, networking on the Facebook and Instagram, do a nice brochure, promote yourself, have a nice thing. It's very, very important.
yeah, continue to network all the time, right? What do you say to a person who doesn't like to it can be an introvert or a person who doesn't like to network? Yeah, what do you say about that?
But even for me, sometimes I'm very tired because you go to a networking event, nobody know you, you are by yourself, and most of the time they're already talking with 4 or 5 friends. You come and you are by yourself. It's they are in the table, you are the only one. They all know each other. It is very hard, but it's like you jump on the swimming pool. You don't want to jump. It's very hard, but I always say when there are in 5 people talking, I say, please, can I join with you? So because if you ask nicely, 99% they will say yes. So can I join with you for your networking? This is the first thing. And when and it's break the ice already, when you come like that. And the second thing, it's you listen to them. For if there are five people, they're talking, just listen. I think listening is very important. And when you have a listening, on the five people, most of the time I only networking with one. I don't try to networking with the five, because first, I don't have time to follow up the five, and I do the one. You know what? I was surprised in the beginning. I saw, because my kid go to a private school, and they have a party at the parents' house every month. And I said, wow, why they did this party all the time? I'm thinking it's like a wasting the time. But in fact, it's not wasting the time. They do that on purpose to networking, so the parents can do business between them. It's amazing. So in the beginning, you think, oh, it's just for just they like party, but everything, I found that these rich people, everything they do have a reason. It's and the reason is a very good reason, because they said they want to work with people with the same level than them, same inspiration. Yeah, so that's a good way. Yeah. And
So
another
what?
thing, Jing, it's very important to grow in life. If you don't grow, you die. So it's very, I know everybody have their comfort zone. They don't want to get out from the bed. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to go for networking. And like for you, you don't want to, I think to do this live radio is for your first time, it was a bit challenging for you to talk in the public, to go on live, to all learn all the things. But I think that we have to come out from our comfort zone. We have to come out from grow. I always say that everything in the life is like a plant. If they don't grow, you die. And it's like a comfort zone. If you stay the same thing, the same business, 20 years, same friend, you will not grow. You will not grow. You will die. And you see that now life is full of change, full of change every day. For me, I learned the new technology. I learned how to use this live screen. I didn't know. You teach me something new. 1 week before, I didn't know how to do these live streams. I learned something new to install on my computer, on my phone. So it's but it's I can choose the way. Oh, I don't want to learn. I'm tired, I think. But if I choose this way, I don't think that I will be where I am now. So, and I encourage everyone. I say everyone to get out from the comfort zone, and you don't have to do by yourself. You can do by the fun way. I always have a good fun. We have a common friend who is Michelle James. We always do. We are very good friend, but good business partner. So uh, I'm always happy to sponsor her event. Even if I don't have a lot of time to go all the time, I will as much I want to support her. But I always say, do something new, do something fun, do something that is different from your day life. Get out from your community. I saw so many Cambodian or certain community, they stay with the community with 20 years, 30 years. Get out from the community. I'm living in Dandenong. We have 158 nationality. No other nationality, the Pakistan, the Indian, don't stay only with your community. They have so much things to learn.
What do you think should be your business game plan for this year, 2021, in this new normal?
What do you think? What do you want? I don't understand your question.
What do you think should be your business, for this year? You say that everyone should be continue to grow, right? Everybody should continue to grow. So for this year, what is your strategy? What is your business, moving forward? Yeah, what do you think you should do in your?
Okay, so what I grow this year, it's I continue to develop my online business. So I create my online. I control everything with my phone. So this is the first thing. I think the online, it will be my first thing. I will all my product that I put on my online is made in Australia. So I think the made in Australia will be the next pushing. I think people are ready to pay more, but they want to have the job in Australia. This is what I'm keep pushing. I have my own manufacturing toilet paper and tissue in there, you know. So this is my first thing. And the other thing that I will pushing is develop our trade in international. I think that we need to have a global vision. So my vision for 21 is Africa, and I speak French, so it's working in the 35 countries who speak French. So this thing, and finance will be the key. I think finance, capital raising, finance, trade finance have now you know a lot of development don't go with the bank; they go to a private lender, as you know. So I think this, if you work on the online, you work on the finance, and you push your international, I think 21, even 21 will be a hard year compared to 20. I think if you work in these three areas, you will be fine. You will be fine because in these three areas, you will be able, even we have another lockdown, and we will going to have another lockdown. There's no doubt for that. For me, I predict the 5 day lockdown. Everybody laugh at me. I was spot on. So I think I rather be pessimist. Have a good, you know, when people ask me when I'm going to deliver the thing, I always say 10 days, and if I can do in 7 days, is a good surprise. So I think it's good to have a good surprise than a bad surprise.
So you
And
have.
you know,
Hmm?
I'm like I always like to have thing in the backup. You know, even you don't have the thing, is have a backup plan. Backup plan is very important.
Okay, right. So your business has gone online, internationally,
Yeah,
and
and
also finance and the backup plan,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
And if you could rewrite 2020, and if you were to turn back in time, what do you think you should have done better?
There's a lot of things that I can done better. I think if I done better, it's maybe learn more for the online. I should maybe did the online few years ago. This is thing that
Mm.
I should do, not only do in 2020 when I was on lockdown. So this is one thing that I really should pushing. I will probably develop more my international business, not limited to my the thing, but you know, you sometimes you have to make the mistake too. I believe that if you don't make mistake, you don't learn. So I don't have any regret what I have done for 2020. It just said that sometime you know, Steve Jobs is his experience. If you remember, he created Apple, and after they sacked him, he was out. So he was out from Apple, and after he created his own company for the cartoon, and he came back and buy Apple again. And he say a perfect sentence. He says sometimes you need to fall, you need to um, eat this failure, because if you didn't eat this failure, you didn't come back stronger. And I always believe that all the bad things happen for one good reason. So you know, is life is you meet wrong people, you meet good people. People say, oh, I wish that I never met these people, these wrong people, and so like that I will not be in this situation where I am. For me, I found that it's a blessing that I met all these wrong people, because if I didn't meet these wrong people, I will never make any mistake, I will not learn. But it's your choice to let these wrong people go out of your life. You know, for me, I saw a lot of people in trouble because they meet the wrong people and they stick with the wrong people. For me, I met you always in the business we met the wrong partner. You cannot escape. It's part of the business. You meet the wrong and the person. But when you meet the wrong people, you let them go. You learn your lesson, you move on, and you let them go. This is what I think is very important.
So, do you have something to say to all those aspiring would-be entrepreneur out there, for those who wanted to become an entrepreneur? Yeah, what do you say to them?
So this is, I would say, my main tip. First, never give up. Even you see the thing, just do step by step. Don't look at the problem, at the global problem. Look one day at the time. Be gratitude, have a gratitude what you have, because if you have a good health, 99% of your problem are already fixed. Second thing, learn all the time. Learn different things, learn a language, learn a new software, learn something. Always learn. Even learn Spanish, you learn things. Even you learn one word is always learning. And the most important, networking and continue to grow. This is, I will say, this is the main thing. If you just stuck and just do these five things, it will be already good. And surround with the positive people. Because if you surround with negative people, it's like you swim in the water. If you surround, I mean, your family is the first one who will put you down. It's not they want to put you down, but they see, I see like my parents, they never want I be entrepreneur. They say, oh, you have a good salary. Why you want to have entrepreneur? You're going to have zero income. So it's not your parents want the bad thing for you, but they don't know what you want. It's like you have a GPS. They have the idea, but only you can know what is the good and the bad thing for you. So I think follow your gut feeling, follow your instinct, and do what you want, and follow your passion. Try to find your why. Because if you don't know why you wake up in the morning, I think maybe it's better to stay sleeping.
Oh. What do you want to be known for at the end of the day?
You know, you told me that I have a lot of company. Honestly, I don't care, because I think I was born as a refugee. When I arrived in Australia or in France, I don't have any passport. So I don't care. Honestly, I don't want that they remember Sineth is entrepreneur, this thing like that. Honestly, this is doesn't I'm happy, but doesn't give me a joy. What I want to do, this is what I'm doing for the last 15 years. I sponsor a lot of charity for education for the disabled in Cambodia, and we have hundreds of students who have access to education through our fundraising. You know what I would like that remember? I would like to remember that thanks to my fundraising, to my action, one kid in the rural zone can access to the education. And thanks that I changed their life. I tell you a funny story. It's not a funny, but it's a beautiful story. It's two beautiful story I want to tell you. In 99, I went to Cambodia. And when I went to Cambodia, I helping a boy who have a drug problem, education. So I helping to find a job. So 10 years later, I went to Cambodia and I met his sister. And his sister, oh, he want to see you. I said, I don't have time. Because when I go to Cambodia, I'm also rushing. I don't have time. He said he wants you. And this boy that where I was helping now is the CEO of 700 people.
Wow.
What I did, it doesn't change my life to helping. What I spend my time to think doesn't change my life, but it changed the life of this guy. And another story. So 2 years ago, I bring some business people in Cambodia, Australian business people, and I'm working for ACE. And ACE is the organization who help kids in the slum. We was working in the slum, and there was a young girl, 3 years old. We lost. So she have eye infection, and the organization said she's going to lose her vision. And I asked all my business people Australian. I said, can you donate for her? I'm going to do a fundraising, blah blah blah. And so we raised enough fund to bring her to the hospital. So 1 year later, she can see she didn't lose the eye. And in the slum, how it's dirty, there's no water, no electricity, no toilet. How hard is it? And you can imagine to be mom of a young girl of 3 years old in Australia, how life it would be. It's very hard. She cannot work. But the thing that this girl, the 3 years old, now she can find back the vision. I don't say that, but I think we have changed her life. And like I say, I can be happy to have the best Louis Vuitton, the best bag, the best Mercedes. I'm going to be happy for one day. But what I want to be remembered when I pass away is I have, thanks to my action, I changed the life of these kids through education, to the thing. In the morning, you have to find your why. For me, I'm working so hard because I put my kid in the top private school, and it's a lot of money. And this is my why. So this is why I'm working so hard. And my why, the left money over, I want to give back to the community, because not everybody in Cambodia can access to the education. 97% of the population live in the countryside in Cambodia, 80 to 90%. And these people, there's a girl, she took the bicycle, she go to school. In our school, she making 3 hours in bicycle because there's no school around. And because with our small action, we change the life of this kid. I think, what do you want? I remember, I want that people later say, thanks to Sineth, thanks all her action for the fundraising, we have the school, we can read. And a person who can read is a person who is different from changing life. When I came to France as a refugee, I learned something. When you go to a refugee, I think it's the hardest. I think about the people in Syria, because to have no money is okay. To lose your family is okay. But when you are a refugee, it means you don't have any country. You're living as an illegal thing. So you don't have your Cambodian passport, don't have your French passport, you are the illegal. It's the worst situation ever. And I'm very grateful for France who welcome me as a refugee. And I always say that to be grateful. So whatever you have in the life, people complain. I say, are you going to die tomorrow of cancer? No. So your problem is very small. I give you another example, Ching. When you in the morning you come, oh, the tea is not hot enough. This thing is like that. And, people complain. I say, are you really need to complain because your tea is not hot enough? You know that the people, if some people die of cancer, or some people like in Syria, they have millions of refugees in Lebanon and Turkey. This is real life. To complain that your tea is not hot enough, that the service is bad in the restaurant, is a joke. So I say you have to relativize all the things in your life. But I think the two story that I gave you of the girl and the boy, it's very touching. This is the part that gave me the strength to continue my work as a volunteer. Sometimes, I don't make any money doing this volunteer work. I spend a lot of time, I travel a lot, but at the end, I can sleep well nighttime, and this is the most important thing.
Well, thank you for sharing your stories with us, and it's truly inspiring, right? At the end of the day, to actually then achieve. All right, everyone, this concludes my live session for today. I'm sure that all of you are already inspired by Sineth's sharing session. So before I end, Sineth, do you have any more final more thing to say to all of us?
No, I wish the best for everyone this challenging year. I think it's going to be very challenging year, but it's okay. I think each step at the time. Don't think too much what's going to happen. I think we are blessed. We are living in the most beautiful country, that is Australia. we will be fine. And just be positive, surround with positive people, and everything will be fine.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Once again, thank you, Sineth, for your time. And yeah.
For having me. I mean, 2 sessions. I hope that I hope that people
Yeah.
enjoy. And but anything, I'm always be happy to help you, Jing, to promote anything. So it was a very
Yeah.
pleasure to
Like,
get this interview with you.
yeah, I would like to thank you everyone for watching my live today, as well as those who will be watching the replay later on. So if you do like this live, please remember to share and let your friends know. Do follow me on my Facebook, Xingchu, on the address link provided at the bottom of this screen to be able to follow my stories, and also when you will know I will go live next. I'm also on Instagram and YouTube as well. So don't forget to also follow Sineth on her Facebook as well, which is also provided at the bottom of the screen. So if you would like to know more about her story and actually what she does as well. And of course, again, I will see you all in the next edition. And until then, have a great weekend ahead. And thank you for watching. Right, thank you.
You
Right,
want to
see you.
take a picture together as a souvenir? How do you say?
Yeah. No problem. Sure, no problem. Okay, thank you. You see, we got by later. Okay, right. Okay, I see you. See you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Jing.
thank you.